guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, I am Katie and I make videos every single week, so go and subscribe, press that red button down there and like the video if you like the video. Today I'm bringing you a why I left uni kind of story time, not really video. I left uni, I say recently, like I left this year, and for a number of reasons, mainly the distance that it was from home. So today is a why I left uni. I've got like a few things in my notebook just to remind myself of the lovely time that I have, and yeah, let's get on with it. I actually did a law degree in University of Hertfordshire. The university itself was lovely. It was, I can't really fault it itself. Some of the teachers scared the absolute crap out of me. Well, one teacher did, and I just did not, it kind of relates to everything else, but I just did not enjoy himself. He just scared me, and I felt like if I didn't know it on the dot straight away, then I wouldn't pass, you know. That it wasn't, he tried to, like, there's a certain level of being an arsehole before you start being an arsehole. Does that make sense? Like, so there's a certain level of being kind of not nasty, but being ruthless, to be kind, like, yeah, you know what I mean, where it's okay and then it motivates you, like my philosophy teacher did. He was a bit, you know, do this, blah, 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 but it motivated us and we got really good grades, whereas he was like one step up from that, and it just, I did not get on with him. I get on with teachers who are very, like, great, you know, chatty, friendly. I will do this, da, 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 how's your day, blah blah blah, you know, in a nice setting. And then I really enjoy going to their lessons. Like my favourite teacher, or my favourite lesson, I probably had two favourite teachers. My favourite lesson, actually no, I liked all my other, I really did like all my other, like, professors, but he was just horrible, not horrible, but like a very stern person that I just didn't enjoy going to lessons to. Hertfordshire Uni is kind of North London-ish, whereas I am East London on the verge. I'm literally like Essex, London. I am smack bang on the, like, the line, basically. So if you go 2 minutes down the road from my house, that's Essex, whereas you go 2 minutes up the road from my house, that's London. So I'm smack bang in the middle. And it was just about 2 hours away from my house. On my first day, so I drove up there with my mum the first time, and then my uncle actually drove the second time, because the first time I drove, so I knew, like, I could drive there, and I did the motorway, I learned how to do that and stuff like that, but I just wasn't taking in how to get there and stuff. So the second time my uncle drove, so I could just sit in the car and just, like, map, like, the route, basically. I'm really good with maps and, like, train lines and stuff and, like, locations. Like, the second I've been there, like, I don't need a map anymore, like, I know it. And even from, like, 2 hours away, like, from my house to Hertfordshire, like, I did the route twice. The first time I wasn't really looking, the second time I was focused on this is what I need to do, and then the third time I actually did it was my first day, and I was completely fine. The only thing was that I was stuck in traffic in like 9 o'clock in the morning, because we had to get there by 10, even though they were an hour late. Let's just say we were standing there for an hour, but we had to get there by 10, and so I left at 7, I think, or 6:30, something like that, and I was stuck in traffic for about 2.5 hours. I got there, I left so early, like there was so much traffic on the M25, which is kind of, you know, you want to go to Hertfordshire, take on the M25, do what you want. Usually it was completely fine, but that day, my first day, it just put me off. I was stuck in traffic for 2 hours. I rang my mum. I mean, we were just stand still on the motorway for a good half an hour at a time. And I'm claustrophobic, so it's not even being in the car, it's the fact that we weren't moving, and I had in my head, right, this is where I die, I'm not going to be able to get out of here, no one can come get me, I can't get out. That kind of worried me. Eventually I got there, 15 minutes to spare, and I always kind of leads on to a point, I couldn't park there, and I had to park in a shopping centre, which wasn't too bad, you know. I parked in the shopping centre car park, which was, you had the university here, like a main road, you had another part of the university which was like a building, basically half the university and half like offices, I think, and then another sort of A road, I guess, and over that was the shopping centre. But to get to the shopping centre, like to get to the car park, you had to go the entire way around the blooming shopping centre. When I had a 9 o'clock lesson in the morning, I had to leave at 6 o'clock. I would get there by, you know, 8 latest, 7:30, nearly 8 o'clock. I always wanted to get there early. I've never been late in my life. And so I would always get there, and the shopping centre would not be open, so I could not go inside to go on the stairs and stuff. But also, that meant the inside, like, the doors were shut, like, until it hit 10 o'clock, you could not walk around the shopping centre. Whereas, like, Stratford and maybe Romford and things like that, I'm so used to, like, you can go in, you might get there really early, but you can go in and, like, maybe a food store will be open, or at least you can sit inside the shopping centre and just wait for them, like, but you just could not do that. Like, everything was just locked up, basically. So I had to walk the entire way around to get to my lesson. So yeah, so because it didn't open till 10, so I was always like walking a mile just to get across the bloody road. But yeah, and another point was it's so expensive. Like for me, obviously I know I get my loan and things like that, but I was driving basically a car that hadn't driven that much, or it wasn't driven that much, like it had a good fair good mileage on it when I bought it, but like I don't think like anyone else really before me did that sort of mileage every day. I gave it a good run, and for me it was like pretty much a godsend, because I learnt to drive really quickly. I passed my driving test in October 2014. I then didn't have a car because I just couldn't afford it, and there just wasn't one that I had, like, I don't know, like, not wanted. I always wanted a car every sort of few days. I'd be looking at cars, but like my mum was a bit like and everyone was a bit like so I just never got one. Yeah, so August 2015 I got my car, and then September 2015 by that time I'd been driving a bit. I then the 28th of September 2015 was my first day, and that's when I drove myself to Hertfordshire. I drove myself 2 hours away and back again. Oh my god, you do not understand the length of time it took me every single night to get home. Like sometimes I'd have like a 5 to 6 lesson in the evening, which is the most ridiculous thing. So if people, my brother and my sister would be coming out of school, and I'd be like, yeah, off to my lesson, see you later, won't be back till 9. And then even like 4 till 6 lessons, they were just ridiculous times. And I would not get in till nearly 9 o'clock every night. It's because the traffic, even like rush hour, like I'd miss rush hour basically because everyone comes out at 5, and I'd be starting my lesson at 5. But I've never seen traffic like that, and it's not even a motorway, which wasn't the biggest problem. It was like Epping Forest, if you know Epping Forest, you know, like the roads don't have street lights, so they're just pitch black, and when you're pitch black in a row of cars and some dickhead 10 cars down from you has got his freaking fog lights on for some odd reason, even though everyone around is telling him to turn it off, and you're just being reflected in your mirror, it's the most annoying thing. And I think it was kind of too laid back. Like you know, like I said, I get on with really nice teachers and stuff like that. They weren't the too laid back bit. It was you only had to sign in. Well, we had like a card. I still have my card, but is it on there? No. I have a card, and you just swipe your card on like a little thing, and it comes up with your name, and it just means you signed in. That was your identification. No, that was your proof that you've been to your lessons for the entire week. So you can have like, how many thingies did I do? I think I did 8 lessons a week. Yeah, between 1 hour and 2 hour. And was it 8? No, it was 4. I think it was 4. Yeah, it must have been 4 or 5, depending on if I did like after like extra activities. And the only way that I mean, the teachers themselves did like registers, but they never got anywhere. They would just be on for their notebook or whatever. The only way the university ever knew that you weren't you were in was Monday morning. You could swipe your card and not turn up till the next Monday, and they'd be like, yeah, your attendance is 100%. That was a bit, for me, a bit like, okay, I'll take advantage of that. And because of how far it was, because of the times, like getting up in the morning, it's at 6 o'clock or whatever, I just could not be asked for it. And it was just really hard to like motivate myself. If someone, like, the university was very much like my friends, like Nikita, when I was speaking to her about it, she was like, are you having a laugh? Like, she had to be there every single day, and if they weren't there, then if you weren't there like twice or something, then you'd be like, why, you're going to kick you out, you know, why are you not turning up? So for me, it was kind of anti-motivational. It was nice to have that freedom, and at that time I loved it, but now I'm looking back on it and thinking I wasted half a year. I just had no motivation. If they did, I don't want them, I don't mean like 100% you have to be there every single day while you're not there, because Lord knows I would not be able to afford the petrol, but if they were a bit more like, you have to sign in twice a week and every lesson has a register, obviously you don't have to be there every single day for absolutely no reason, but you have to sign in and they know if you are at your lesson. That would, like, there's the little card readers in the room, so why can't it'll be more like scary motivational, I guess, like from the prospect of you getting kicked out, that if they just had them in the room, like every lesson that you had, you scanned it, because they had another thing with it was you didn't have to go to your lesson, like you did, but then if you missed your lesson or it was cancelled, you just pop on to someone else's lesson. The group chat, not the group chat, but like the Facebook like freshers group for law, especially for me anyway, obviously that's the only one I'm in, was constantly is there a contract law like thingy workshop today, is there a contract law lecture tomorrow, what time is it, blah blah blah, who's it with, and then people give them like times, dates, where it is, blah blah blah, and it was really nice to have that, but at the same time, you know, it wasn't like strict, I guess. And like I said, the teacher earlier who I just did not like, he was one of my teachers and I did never go to his lesson. How long was I there for? Like quite a few months really, it was like more than half a year, and I never once went to his lesson. There was another teacher who I disliked. I went to her lesson once because I just didn't know who she was. She was very much like, not to me, but like in general, she's like, don't have your phones out, do the whole like two facts and a lie thing. She was, but it was like a really sad sort of, but she thought she was funny. If you didn't laugh, it would be kind of, do you know what I mean? Like, her laugh at me, haha. Like, it was very much like she was the boss and that was it. She's very harsh, and she had an assistant as well, and everyone felt so sorry for that assistant because she was just horrible. She was so like snappy and rude at her, and I think that's the bit that kind of threw me. I was a bit like, why? Like, we are students, fine enough, we have to have respect for you and whatever else, and like, I completely agree with that, but you don't have to be so rude to someone else that's helping you. You see what I mean? So yeah, sipping my tea. Becoming cold, don't do that with me. Another thing that kind of put me off was I didn't want to be a lawyer in the first place. I have always sort of had this thing that it's a real thing, that my mum kind of, especially, no offence mum, she knows I blame her, she's very like, she compares me to my cousin an awful lot. She doesn't do it right like recently, but when I was definitely during GCSEs, during prom, during my A-levels and going to uni, she said, oh, such and such did this, such and such did this, and she did this, and she did this, and she's doing this, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't give a shit. Like, she can do whatever the fuck she wants. Focus on me. So I was always, she didn't realise she was doing it, and every time my cousin would put something on Facebook, like my aunt, she'd be on the phone to my aunt or something like that, she'd be like, oh, do this, and she did this, and she's done this, and she's wearing this, and I'm just like, alright mum. Like, I love my cousin, don't get me wrong, like, she was like my favourite cousin when we were younger. She was, you know, we used to play every time. I remember the first time that we didn't, like, she kind of grew up, I guess, like, it hit the barrier, she grew up. We were at my sister and my nan have, like, 2 days in between their birthdays in the middle of, like, July. And every year we, had, like, a summer party, like a barbecue thing. Yeah, so, and then I remember one year we used to play, my nan has those like doll houses and stuff for us, but they're like, obviously they're hers, we can't take them home or anything. And we'd play houses underneath like my nan's dining room table. We'd just sit there, we'd get like blue tack and have like the little like picture frames up, and we'd get like we'd just decorate underneath the table as if it were our own house. We wouldn't use the dolls or anything, no, we'd just decorate like interior designers. And I remember one year she just didn't do it with me, and I was just like doing it by myself. And then she was outside, and she was like, she's 3 years older than me, I think, yeah. So she grew up 3 years before me, and she's very much like socialising with people, and I don't really do that, like, not because I was young, but in general, like even now, although I will do it, I prefer not to. My family are really big, like my mum's side, we don't like, although I have my, like, I say immediate family, like I have like 2 aunts or 3 aunts out of 4. 4 and 2 uncles, and so my 3 aunts that I usually see, but I will see them more than anyone else. I will happily talk to, you know, we'll go out for meals and stuff like that. Like my aunt, one of my mum's sisters, used to come with us for every birthday meal and stuff like that. We don't do it so much anymore, but like all the time we'd go. Yeah, so I'm fine with talking to them, but along the line, my older cousins I never really spoke to, because a lot of them were, you know, adults before I was a child. Does it make sense? Like when I was a baby, they were kind of 18, 19, because my nan had 7 kids, right? A lot of the kids grew up before I was even born. So yeah, so my other cousin, which was like a few years older, she would talk to them, and I was just like, you're basically an adult, I don't talk to you, sort of thing, you know. I don't really see them anymore anyway, so I can't really talk to them now. But yeah, I don't really know where I went with that, but I really don't want to, I haven't got a clue where I went with that. But I wrote down, I don't want to be a lawyer. Oh yeah, because she compared me. And that cousin went and did law school, and she done really well. She's graduating this year. She's actually just gone on a round the world trip, and I admire her, I really do. Like, I think she's doing so well for herself, and I give her all the luck in the world. And you know, she's lovely, she's beautiful, she's lovely, but I don't want to be compared to her. And like, I don't have anything against any of them, I really don't. Just stop comparing me to them, please. So when my mum was always talking about her, she'd be like, law school, da, 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 da. And I remember sitting in, I was getting my, what's it called, personal statement checked by one of my teachers, and he's my favourite teacher ever. He's like, he knows my favourite teacher ever, I think. And Nikita was in there, and I was doing a marketing thing. I really wanted to do marketing. I love business. I've always done really well in business. Obviously I got like equivalent to an A-star in my A-level and whatever else. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. So I was going to do a marketing degree. But I remember standing there, and he went, you want to do marketing? And I was just like, no, I really don't want to do marketing. Like, and I just went, I'll do law instead. Like, I was like, yeah, I really want to do law. I'll do this. I go here, and then everyone was a bit like, you're having a laugh. But I was like, no, I really want to do it, you know. But that wasn't because I wanted to do it. Like, even marketing, I didn't want to do marketing. I wanted to do marketing because my mate wanted to do marketing, and I didn't want to do law. I wanted to do law because my mum wanted me to do law. Like, when I was doing my GCSEs and my French, absolutely hated French. I hated the teacher. She was so strict. Like I said, she was strict. Like other teachers, strict, horrible, didn't get it right, detention. We had this homework where you had to learn, like, say 20 words or whatever, and if you didn't learn the spelling like perfectly, and then you get detention, because she'd sit us down and she'd like go down the register and call random people to do random words on the board, and if you didn't do the word right, I think it was like 2 or 3 words you had to write at a time, and if you didn't do them correctly, you didn't do your homework, basically, she thought. Well, she said. Whereas, like, it kind of worried me for, like, people like my sister and stuff. Like, people who had learning difficulties she wouldn't pick on, to an extent. But, which I guess is nicer, you know, but at the same time, I don't think, maybe because someone's doesn't have a learning difficulty doesn't mean that they're like ace in spelling. Like, if you said to me, work out freaking something in maths or science, I'd be like, I'm in top set, but I ain't got a fucking clue what you're talking about. So it's just levels that it just pissed me off. Like, that's another thing. So because I didn't want to be a lawyer, I had no interest in it. obviously. I love the idea of it. I love the idea of the money. I thought, you know, everyone talks about lawyers, everyone talks how like ruthless and hard they were, and I was like, yeah, that's me. Like, I loved like crime shows, NCIS LA. Is it LA? Yeah. Hawaii 5-0 is probably my favourite one. We watched Criminal Minds. I used to watch Criminal Minds every single fucking week. All those, I know every single character. I know pretty much every episode. I know. No, I loved it. I wanted to be Garcia. If you watch Criminal Minds, Garcia was my woman crush. Right, I wanted to do everything because I'm kind of good at. Sounds really bad, but like not stalking, but like finding things out that I want to find out. Like. Oh yeah, so I thought I was pretty good at like computer. I was really good at computer. I was really good at like finding things. So I absolutely loved the idea of becoming like a special op, like becoming. I loved it. That's what I wanted to do. I've always said I wanted to do that, and the only way really to do it is through law and stuff like, or policing, even one. And I just did not. It wasn't. I love criminal law. I absolutely loved it. You know, I got straight into it. I love contract law. I also love doing, there was like an extra activity thing where you got like points towards your grade. I can't remember, what did I do? I don't know, this was back in December. When I actually did the extra thing. I don't know, we'll talk about next one. I actually got decent grades. I didn't get too bad grades. The first, essay I think I did, I got, like midway between a pass and really good, basically. So that was really nice, and and then the next one I passed, I think, unless I didn't do the next one. I don't actually think I got the grades for the next one. I think it was like a multiple choice one, and the first multiple choice I did really well in it. The second multiple choice was like I got like 3 out of like 12 or something like that, and then the next one I did, I got like 1 wrong, I think, or I got all of them, 1 or 2. And then essays and stuff. I found writing essays really easy. They stressed me out. They took me ages to write, but I found them, like, the writing process really easy, and like planning and stuff. As long as I knew what I was planning, it was easy. But the only problem with that was I didn't know what I was planning. No one knew what they were planning, and the things that we did plan, like say we had an essay coming up and we had like a recession for that within our like study groups, they would be like, the teacher would either give us a plan, or she'd be like, you can write about this and this, like choose what you want. But before that I would plan it out anyway. Like the second we got the question, I'd be thinking about stuff, and whatever I thought about was completely wrong. Like there was no way on this earth, like if I had wrote that I would pass, like no. So that just had given me no hope for like exams and things like that. I was just like, if I can't do it now, what the fuck am I going to be like come like July, you know? So overall I didn't have a bad university experience. Like the university itself was lovely, you know, the library was really nice, the people I met, like Sinead, was really nice. I don't know if she watches my videos, I don't know whether I think I told her about my blog, I don't know, but she was lovely, and I've just got in contact with her now again. And a few other girls that I met were really, really nice as well, like friendly, and they came from all over the place. Most of them didn't. Oh, that's another thing actually, I didn't live there. Which kind of, if I did live there, I would have stayed, obviously, until the end of the year. You know, I would have gone to more lessons and things, but I didn't stay there. When looking up the prices for accommodation, they were extortionate. And I mean, anyone that lives there knows they are extortionate. They're extortionate wherever you go, but like, I just could not commit myself to that. I just got my car, and I had to pay that, basically. Well, I didn't have to pay, but I had to pay petrol and stuff. And I know in my head that I am really bad at spending. Like where I also left early now, and I have to pay back my student loan and my grant. Not my loan is in the £9,000 a year, but the maintenance ones. I have to pay those back because I left mid-term. So I left start of the term, I left, and then it was the end of the term. So the money that I had was for the entire term, obviously. So I left halfway through, therefore I was only entitled to half of the money, kind of here and there. So I have to pay back a decent amount of money. And yeah, so that was great. That's every month my bank account loves me. On top of that, I also have to pay for my car insurance now as well, so I'm poor. But if I did stay at uni, I wouldn't have been able to go back to my job because it would have been, you know, an hour and a half to get there every day or on the weekends. And yeah, it was just, and there was nowhere to park. If I did stay there was nowhere to park. You know, I mean, it was just really hard to like picture myself living there. I'm very OCD in the fact that I love, like, I can't live with people. Not I can't live with people, but if someone left like a dirty mouldy plate on the side, I'd be so pissed off with them. And like, I don't do loud people, like, you wouldn't know who you're living with. So unless I had a group and it was like my girl group, Alfie and his mates sort of thing, obviously it's never going to happen, but if we all lived together, I would be 100% happy that I'd do that. It'd be really nice because I know those people, I know what they piss me off with, I know what pisses them off, and you know, it will just work. Whereas people I don't know, although that is the beauty of it, you know, you make friends and stuff like that, I'm just a bit like, oh, I don't want to do this, no. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for this video. I really hope you sort of enjoyed this, not story time, but learning why I left uni. And yeah, I did love uni. I love education. Like, I don't want to leave it. So, you know, I'm definitely going, or I know I'm definitely going back in September to another degree, a separate degree and a separate university that is like half an hour away. So, you know, we'll see this time next year how that goes. But yeah, I hope, and it's something that relates to my blog and stuff like that, so it's going to be something that I'm 100% interested in. If I weren't interested in it, I would struggle with my blog. Does that make sense? So yeah, I really hope you enjoy it. If you are new, please, hello phone, please don't forget to subscribe. I have gone up 2 subscribers recently. Thank you very much to the YouTube. Very, very nice of you. I also leave my Twitter, my Instagram and my blog link down below as I usually do. And yeah, thank you for watching and I will see you again very soon. Goodbye.